Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today with episode 173 of the H.A.M Radio Podcast.
And it's me, Karak with ACG.
As if on cue, dog barks. We have some exciting news this week. We want to start this off by announcing that on October 21st episode, we are going to be interviewing Yuri Lowenthal, voice of Spider-Man from PS4, Yosuke Hanamura from Persona 4 Golden, amongst 1,000,001 other characters, and that's not an exaggeration. This man is in a lot of video games, so we're really stoked about that. He's my favorite voice actor ever, so you guys know that. Yeah, I'm geeking over that one. So that is a pretty big get for us. We haven't had a big voice actor on the show in a good long while.
Yeah,
we've had a lot of big YouTubers come on and content creators, but it's nice to have someone like Yuri with his prestige join our show. So you guys can look forward to that. Since it's an interview style video, feel free to just send me or Karak tweets about questions you want us to ask, whether it's Spider-Man related or to his pedigree, stuff along those lines, because we're really pumped about this one. So that's something to look forward to. Upcoming content for me is lots of Fallout 76. I attended a event at the Greenbrier in West Virginia. Played some Fallout 76, so early next week you can expect content up the wazoo for this game, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my thoughts on what I've got for you guys there, because I busted my butt out there. And what about you, Karak? What are you up to?
Well, Occupation got delayed, so I was going to review that, so that spot opened. So we're continuing the ACG, like, Forza 4 championship thing. So I'm actually getting a chance to return to a game. All right. And strangely enough, and we'll talk about this later, but I'm actually replaying Odyssey with the female, with Cassandra, because I was Alexio. You were Cassandra most of the time, right? She was your main. So I'm doing that, and then the video... pretty cool video that I'm working on that I'm not really talking about, that hopefully it comes together. And then Red Dead, like, that's the hope. The hope is the hope. I don't think it's going to happen, but the hope is
Red
is
Dead
a Red Dead
is
review.
A tough get, so I've heard. But as for the video, folks, that Karak is teasing, I can't say what, but you people should be excited. We want this to go through. We want this to go through, because I know it, and it sounds fucking awesome. So be sure to check out Karak's channel. I almost said Karak's channel. And last, but certainly not least, be sure to flick a buck.
Flick a buck.
Thank you. Patreon.com/MrMattyPlays. Early access to the podcast. Patreon exclusive videos. There's a Let's Play up there right now of my girlfriend and I playing Overcooked, and that was a blast. We do the personal podcast, so it's kind of like additional content. What else do I do there? I do a lot. So, yeah, we got a lot planned, a lot going on there. Mostly early access and exclusive content. Karak also has a Patreon. Be sure to flick your bucks his way as well. And now, let's get into what will likely, we don't really know how these discussions always go, headline our podcast. Gameplay video 2 of Red Dead Redemption 2 is finally released. A lot of fans, I follow Legacy Killer HD, and he's always like, where's the gameplay, where's the gameplay, where's the gameplay? Because Rockstar was talking about like 200 plus species in Red Dead Redemption 2, and just like all these extra details that are cool, but like teasing almost, saying like, here's something that probably, you like to know in the terms of hype, but you don't really care. You want to see that gameplay. So we finally got the gameplay, and we're going to generally just spitball our thoughts here. So Karak, if you'd like to get us started, what did you like or dislike maybe even about this video?
I think overall I felt it was a little like the other one, so I didn't really leave it going, oh my god. Instead I left it going, okay, nothing was worse. There were some cool things. I'm not a big fan of the first person in GTA, so when they showed the first person, where a lot of people were like, wow, all I saw was a really tight FOV, and I get sick easy, and I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna vomit trying to play that. But I mean, overall, I think now we're at a point to where we really are at a point to where we're so close that these trailers are more just backing up your already preconceived notions of whatever you're gonna do, buy it or not buy it. And so to me, I didn't see anything negative from it. I just saw some improved gameplay, or some more gameplay, and no real issues where I was like, uh-oh, there was
Right.
nothing that sort of sat out.
Yeah, I feel you on that. For me, as someone who's just kind of like not meh about the game, but just like, all right, I'm not enthused. It's like I know
Right.
a lot of people are excited. I get why, but for me, when I saw the gameplay, I kind of sat in that same region of like, okay, this is what I expected. I don't
Right.
want to say the video was safe because
No, I think it was
felt-
safe. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah, I don't know if it didn't. I don't think they really need to have to make this game a big risk taker. It's going to sell a ton, but
Yeah.
I guess more so. The video showed what I expected, like, okay, train heists, okay, robberies, more character interaction, or explore the world. It kind of felt very PR-ish, which Rockstar gameplay reveals have always been like. But out of everything that I did see there, in terms of, pardon me, what I was most excited about was, I've always liked the idea of train robberies. During the Wild West, I just thought that was the coolest damn thing. And to know that it looked kind of like it was going to be an activity, less of a mission that you can perform. So that was one thing that I saw and was like, okay, that has me. I'm pretty excited about that. And I don't know why. I think it's because growing up, I just loved trains. I couldn't tell you a thing about trains. I just thought they were cool. And the idea of robbing one in a game sounds fun.
Yeah, especially if they figure out a way to where it's not like it can't be like an Assassin's Creed side mission. That'd suck. Like they're not the same kind of missions or the side activities. My hope is that like it's occasional when it does come up. Like who knows? Maybe like you get some warning at somewhere where somebody's like, hey, we heard that track number 457 is gonna have one less bounty hunter on the train or something. You're like, okay, and then you sort of have to put it together. Because the one thing I don't want, Maddie, is an X. Like, I don't want to go into the menu and it's like X for the train, and you're all right. I mean, it'd be cool a couple times, but after that, that would be devastating.
Yeah, it could wear on the player.
My hope is that it's less often, but a little bit more impactful.
Yeah, I what I've really liked about this game and that's drawn me in is, and this is just because I love RPGs, is character interaction. It seems like there's going to be a lot of relationship building. I saw some goofy kind of quests, like you were riding people around in a carriage, taking them out on like a stroll. Yeah, and they were singing. Yeah. It had a lot of character, for lack of better words, charisma rather. I really like that. That made me go, okay, I want to play this game because I just like connecting with characters. And I didn't expect that in Red Dead, where, Red Dead 1 had great characters and character building, but in the way where you as the player are able to reach out to them and say, hey, let's do this, and then you go off and there is a very unique thing in the scheme of what the game is, where usually you're going to be exploring, hunting, shooting shit, just taking in the vast world. That going on a stroll with some friends from the camp really sounded appealing for me because, we talked about this, I think, last week, how so many of these AAA games are like, here's the big set piece. Now, here's the giant peak that we're going to lead you to, where you got to take in the vastness of our world. And there's never really downtime, which I think a lot of games draw from. I think that's why growing up, I always gravitated towards BGS games, because there was that heightened excitement and action and investment for the player of reading the notes, exploring the area, getting involved, and then walking to the next area where you're just taking in the views. It's that moment to moment, like, okay, I'm decompressing from that subconsciously, albeit. I think that's something I'm going to really appreciate in Red Dead 2, though.
Yeah, I mean, so far, what I saw looks, I mean, I get what you mean by like, it's not necessarily floating your boat, because I'm the same way. I mean, excited, but I'm not like I was with Spider-Man, where I was like, hey, this looks, like it's something up my alley. I liked Red Dead, so I'm excited for this. But right now, I think I'm done. Like, my cup is full. I'm just sort of, I'm like, all right, it's another trailer, but I don't really need to see that. It's just pretty much time. Yeah, I think they probably planned it right, because it comes out the 26th, right? 25th, 26th?
Or 26th. Yep, it's on my calendar.
Okay,
yep.
So, I mean, we're still a little early, but in the scheme of things, they did a pretty good job, I think, with, like, saturation. We're at the point where it's like if they do another video, maybe the 17th or 18th or something, where they're like maybe the multiplayer or they show the camp. I would love to have seen camp life and have them actually like, you know, today Arthur's going to blah, blah, blah. And that would be cool too, prior to the release.
I would love to see a video fully dedicated to the camp, because as I just went on for a good couple
my
minutes
favorite
about, it's definitely the one I'm like, okay, this feels new, because not that the game looks like a rehash of the first one, not by any means, and that's not what I'm implying. Just like it feels like it looks way better, it looks cleaner. It's just like, okay, we've seen this style before from Rockstar with the first Red Dead, and the first Red Dead was fantastic. So if it's not broken, don't fix it. But that's why, like, the addition of the camp. But I also think it's a lot of its strengths are going to come from the little details that gamers are starting to appreciate more and more. Like, I remember listening to a preview from IGN, and they were talking about hunting animals, and they said it's like, for example, when you skin an animal, it's not just like you hear like the little, like the squeegee sound, and then all of a sudden it says +1 skin. Like, you actually see your character take out the knife, grab the fur, like saw it off, and like you'll see a chunk of organs, you know, underneath. Stuff like that brings the world to life, albeit in a little, I wouldn't say darker, but it makes everything, visceral. It makes everything feel alive, or in this case, dead. And so that's another thing that I feel will really help this game leapfrog, because that's what I appreciated too about GTA 5. I know a lot of people like to hate on the game because of GTA Online, but GTA 5 was a damn fine game. And you know, like the little details, such as you get out of your car and you hear the engine just like tick, 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 tick. Yeah, I'm just like, that's
one of the best parts of the game.
That's cool, right? And
or the music still plays when you're outside, and you can hear like "Welcome to the jungle" while you're around the corner chasing some dude.
Yeah,
it's fucking so good.
Yeah, I love that. So, I'm happy with what I saw. It's still not at that level, and I've accepted, like, okay, it's not going to be at that level of like, whoa, let's go. But perhaps it'll be an experience that I don't know if surprise is the right word, but just I play and I'm like, okay, I get this, I love this. Yeah, I hope for that experience with a lot of games, but this one in particular, I'm hoping that when I sit down to play it, because this might be a game I get to after the fact. You know, I know it's going to be good for content, but I'm going to be very busy with Fallout at that time. I know that because it's right around the time the beta drops. So, yeah, it's like I might just get to it in November or something and play it just for myself strictly, which was something I didn't expect to do when the game was first revealed last year. It's crazy to think that it's been like a year.
And you know, a little bit on that, like, that's the difficulty, dude, is like, so they don't have to, Rockstar is probably the only company, even ignoring Activision, EA, Rockstar, might be the only company out there that can ignore the typical PR process. They can, and I saw
2 gameplay videos in a year.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. I saw a bunch of people do previews, and there was a single YouTuber who had 22,000 subscribers. And that, to me, is typical Rockstar, where they're like, hey, normal blah, blah, blah. Oh, and we're just going to pick Joe Blow Random McGee out of this group, and we're going to have them go too. And so to me, I have a feeling it'll be the same way. I've pretty much identified that time as coverage, but that there's a very good chance we won't, you know, be able to get those, and that it's going to be more of a press thing.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. That's
in a
what
way,
GTA
that's fine
5
too.
was.
You know, I don't even remember GTA 5. 360. Yeah, I don't even remember how. Oh, you know what? Did I get that one?
You might you might. I don't know. You might have, just because I remember my channel was way smaller at the time. Like I had nothing to offer Rockstar. I think I had, like, at the time, like 30,000 subs, and like my viewership was like 2,000 a video. Like, it was nothing crazy. And I had emailed Rockstar, and they're like, "We've added you to the list." And obviously, I heard nothing back after that. But you know, still, the point being was I had gotten a response, and they were forming a list. So I wonder with that game, perhaps you may have gotten a code. But with Red Dead 2, like, I've heard multiple times, because, you know, at this event, obviously there was a lot of different outlets there, and we were talking about Red Dead, and kind of word on the street is like, yeah, it's pretty much locked down. Like, I think copies are probably going out, and a week or two, and it'll just be to a very select few. Because the thing is that I think Rockstar knows they don't need to hand out 1 million copies for this game to sell, but also they've seen the leaks of like Harry Potter, which we'll get into later. They've seen every highly anticipated game that gets handed out to influencers start leaking a ton, and they're probably like, we worked hard on this game for many years. It's our first release since 2013. Why risk it when we know it's going to sell well?
Yeah, I mean, there's really no upside. At some point, you're already huge, so they don't need influencers. I think every other game actually does. I think they'll need influencers for their online version, though, for sure. I think that'll be where you see them reaching out to people and saying, do you want to try this online? But yeah, when it comes down to it, like everybody I've talked to has been like, yeah, like all they get is I've been added to the list, and it doesn't matter if they're 3 million followers or fucking 3.
Want to hear a mind-blowing theory? Imagine if Rockstar has like Telltale syndrome, and right now we're all like, they're fine, they don't need influencers, but yet they're like starving for coverage. And projections are like super low. They're like, super low. Yeah, this game's gonna fail, guys.
We're fucked, man. Yeah, no, don't think it'll be that.
Nah, well, they'll be fine. But anyway, any last thoughts on Red Dead?
No, I can't. I mean, I really want to know about the multiplayer stuff more than anything.
Yeah, and you wonder if they're gonna kind of pad out the coverage, like, okay, last gameplay video, like one more launch trailer, game itself, then Red Dead Online. I feel like that's how it'll go. Just keep it in people's heads for longer. It's like all in their, it's working in their favor. And I feel like that's intentional, you know?
Yeah, me too.
It absolutely is. Because it's just like a whole other game at that point for them. Anyway, we mentioned Telltale just a second ago. And now we'll get right into the latest on that just tragic issue there. Telltale reportedly relieves the remainder of its staff. So this information comes from Yavi Gwaltney of Game Informer. It says, it is an understatement to say that the people working at Telltale have had a horrendous past month after the company let 225 employees go without severance. It was initially reported that a skeleton crew was staying on to finish and fulfill the company's obligations to its board and partners. Today, one of Telltale's narrative designers, Rachel Noel, has revealed, oh my god, I can't read right now, that the company has let go of the remaining employees. She said on Twitter, hey, remember how there was going to be a skeleton crew staying on for a while and I was part of it? Nah, JK, we all just got laid off too. Telltale itself has yet to release a statement or an update on its search for finding partners to complete The Walking Dead's final season, which is currently in limbo. There were reports, too, I think, that they were reaching out to other partners to hire their developmental staff to finish the remaining of Walking Dead and Minecraft, of course, and all that stuff. So what do you take away from this? That, they were like, okay, we're going to finish Minecraft story mode with this skeleton crew, and just, I think it was an obligation like Netflix, I want to say, I heard.
Yeah, Minecraft is Netflix.
Yeah, and then from there, it's just falling apart, and there's no one.
So Rachel did correct herself. So she sort of caused the entire fucking industry to freak out. She posted, "We're let go." What she didn't clear up until a later tweet is that it was just her small narrative team. So not everybody is gone. Now, regardless of that, they can't be more. I mean, they got to be at the like 9-person fucking level at some point.
Yeah, it's an indie team.
So it doesn't change a ton, but it indicates there are still, the lights are still on. There's still a couple people there. She did apologize and say, she was just trying to give people updates, and I think she was being emotional, when she typed it, and then didn't realize that people just took that as, oh, everybody's gone, and then she's like, oh shit, that's not what I meant. So it happens. It does suck. I still personally like episodic content. I know a lot of people don't. It depends on the game, obviously. I like episodic content that's perfectly timed. So it's like every 2 weeks. If it was like hit perfect, oh fucking, I would dig that. The problem is they never do it. But to me, it's a big loss because, like them or not, they told some cool stories with some different IPs, and they were just another segment of gaming that I was able to do if I wanted. Like, 2 hours out of my day to play Walking Dead or you know, or Wolf Among Us or what have you. That was 2 hours that I had a good time doing. So to me, it sucks.
Yeah, and I think while they aimed for popular ones, they did ones like Back to the Future, Tales. I think, is it of the Borderlands or from the Borderlands?
Tales. That's true. I don't remember which one it is, but they did that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and it kind of, for a lot of gamers, gave them hope of, like, imagine what other IPs that are a little less popular, and not that Borderlands isn't popular, but it was being told in a different style where it had the chance to be a risky investment, which obviously now we know it was. Nothing was profitable except the first season of The Walking Dead. But a lot of people looked at Telltale as like this hive of, you know, IPs and giving different types of ones that we may not have ever seen a chance, or shining a new light on existing ones. Like we had a bunch of Marvel games get revealed, and then we find out, like, oh, Telltale's doing their own Marvel game. That's cool. And it's with a superhero squad that was on the rise and is now very popular with the mainstream when they previously weren't. So Game of Thrones is really popular. What else do they do?
Hey, shut up.
You're fine. You know, like, point being is like, I'll even say, like, I speculated one time, hey, what if Bethesda had handed off Fallout to Telltale? Or I remember my friend Monty had said, like, imagine if Telltale did a Scooby-Doo game, because of, like, the art style and just the way the game is. It was a match made in heaven. It was a beautiful idea, and it's like, that was totally possible, I feel.
It was. I feel that is lost if they go away.
Exactly.
Or at the very least, minimize, because I just don't think they were trying, obviously, because they only had one true financial success, so they were obviously trying for a long time without success. But they were trying and trying and trying, and I don't see any other company looking at that and going, and then we'll talk about this in a bit, but Life is Strange isn't selling well. So with all that combined, I think episodic, you know, and I get it, a lot of people don't like it, great, whatever, but if you ignore that and look at these IPs, these unique ones, it would suck if those go away. Because a Scooby-Doo, I'd play the shit out of.
Oh,
you know,
God,
there's 85 cartoons out there that I'd just be like, yeah, let's do that yesterday. Let's get on that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, man. I think what people don't realize, and obviously if the industry doesn't want to practice it, effectively gets removed, but I don't think people realize that, let's say, okay, a company had a really potentially successful idea for episodic gaming or storytelling, and then they look at Telltale down the tubes, not profitable, Life is Strange 2, not selling as well. They instantly go, ooh, do we really want to do this? So I always tell people, and I'm not saying everyone shits money, so don't get me wrong, but if you like something in this industry, it is not just saying I like something. It is a business where to keep it alive, you have to support it. It's like, you know, it's like funding local businesses. You know, they're not a chain where if one goes out of business, there's still one like 40 minutes away. If you have a local business that you love and offers you a convenience factor, albeit maybe at a little bit of a higher price, you still might want to support them because they're a local business. That's how they stay afloat, because people are investing in them. And I know it's a strange connection between gaming and that, but it works the same way. You appreciate something, you invest in it. Now, if you don't like it, Telltale, you didn't want their games, you didn't invest in them, and I think the industry spoke, but there was this collective assumption, which is why I'm bringing this up, that, oh, they were doing fine. Everyone was like, they're doing fine.
Yeah, and how many people do we know who actually like their stuff, who probably would have, like, went out and purchased, you know, a Batman or whatever, had they known that, you know, the sales weren't that good? It's pretty insane. Their sales were unbelievable. They just did not do well.
Yeah. And do you have a number on the Life is Strange 2
Life
sales?
is Strange? Yeah, it was like, hang on. I'm pretty sure it was less than 10,000, where Life is Strange Beyond the Storm was like many, many more. Just give me 1 second.
10,000. I mean, I don't know, man. Releasing in this fall, if you're not a AAA game, that's just... You just probably shouldn't release.
Yeah, no shit, right? It's a bad time. So, remembering Life is Strange 2 is $40, Life is Strange 1 was $17. That's a huge issue, which we could talk about later. But Life is Strange Before the Storm's debut, that's Before the Storm, not the original. The debut was at 16,000 plus. They debut for Life is Strange 2, which I personally believe, since it's the real company and all that stuff should have done, at minimum that good, is around or a little less than 4,000. So you're talking a fourth of, which to me indicates, I don't, like,
that's episode 1. It's like Let's Plays, you know, they go down over time too.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like, how do you tell somebody? And you know, people always say this, I'm waiting until it's all done. And then I've talked to multiple people with Telltale, and I'll be like, oh, did you buy it? And they're like, I'm waiting till it's cheaper. And I'm like, Jesus, you've waited for 4 different goals, and those goals continually get, the goalposts continually get moved, and the game never gets purchased. So I don't know. And the fact is, I wasn't in love with Life is Strange 2 episode 1, but certainly more in love with it than the fucking 4,000 people playing it. Like, that's insanely low.
Yes, that's a shame, man.
Yeah, because Captain Awesome was fun.
Yes,
or Captain Amazing, or whatever it was.
Captain Spirit or something.
Captain's Amazing Spirit. I don't know why I can never remember the name of that.
I remember you shot this episode.
Yeah, but for a free game, that was actually really good.
Yeah, nice solid hour. It was encouraging, and you thought that it was primed for success. Like, a lot of people had a chance to get a taste and a teaser, and then the trailer for Life is Strange 2, I thought, really, you know, hammered home like an interesting premise. The way they marketed the reveal of the game, kind of teasing and talking about it a lot, and getting gamers talking about it, like, it was all kind of there. It's just, I think at the end of the day, there are a lot of people saying, I want to try it. Number one, the reviews aren't raving, where I feel like it's become more common to see people like freaking out over games and having really high scores than it was a couple of years ago. I remember, like, when MGS5 dropped, it was 10s across the board, and I just feel like I'm always seeing, and I'm not saying it's in a bad way, but I'm feeling like I see so many games, like, people are vocal about how amazing it is, and they're getting 9s out of 10s. You know, we saw it with Spider-Man. I would be shocked if we didn't see that for Red Dead. We saw it for God of War. We saw it for Horizon, and we saw it for pretty much every PlayStation exclusive. Games are getting better, and so I feel like because they are getting better, and because we are, you know, it is propelled by the internet and people's opinions, that there needs to be a overwhelming, like, collective industry. Life is Strange 2 on the megaphone is fucking good, and it really wasn't getting that. And therefore, in a busy fall period, it is going to fail, which is just a harsh reality. But I just feel like that's how the industry's changed. You know, you either there's no in between anymore. You know, that
not only that, but
unlike
dude, we can't. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying, unlike a Vampire, which is now successful, but it released in a smart time where it was able to give itself a fighting chance and reach its goal, and maybe hopefully fund a sequel at some point. Whereas this one's like they're just something with Square, man. Tomb Raider, Life is Strange now, just throwing these fucking IPs to the wolves in the fall and hoping that somehow they can survive. But you know, I think you also got to take a look at the game and be like, what are we doing wrong that's not grabbing a lot of people's attention?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, best wishes to those who were relieved from Telltale. We hope everyone does land on their feet, and that's hopefully there's a new company that comes in and hires the rest of the staff to finish the work there, and it's kind of like it turns to be a happy ending. I'm crossing my fingers for that one. Now we will shift over to probably the most exciting news that I saw last week, which was the Harry Potter game leak. Now, I'm personally a new Harry Potter fan. I started watching the movies with my girlfriend. My brother was a diehard fan for many years. I thought he was kind of exaggerating. I started watching them. I'm on the 3rd one. I'm like, yeah, okay, this is pretty good. But what always went through my head was like, this universe is perfect for an RPG. It's like there's so many schools, there's spell types. You can, like, start off as a brand new student, climb your way up. I was like, this is built for fucking role-playing. And it seems like we're getting just that. So there was a gameplay video that was leaked, and we'll get into that in a second. But first I want to read the description box of said video that gave us a little more background. It's presumably what's going to be the press release alongside the inevitable official reveal of this game. It says, set in the 19th century Wizarding world, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with unique abilities who has earned a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student to Hogwarts that demonstrates a latent gift for magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. Upon arrival, strange events begin to materialize in the Forbidden Forest and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls. Together with Professor Eleazar Fig, sorry if I say any names wrong, I'm still learning as a new fan, you embark on a journey through both familiar and never-before-seen locations to bring to light the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle dark wizards, goblins, and other supernatural enemies, and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the wizarding world lies in your hands. And it says features. Journey to Hogwarts to become one of 8 different wizard types. Experience Hogwarts, make new friends, uncover new secrets, and change the fate of the wizarding world. Experience a new magic system that creates countless possibilities to master magic. Freely explore the wizarding world for the first time, choose your house and friends at Hogwarts, and decide to pursue a path of good or evil, and create your own witch or wizard, and experience a all-new story separate from the books or films. Dude, I am so fucking excited. This sounds... Not even sounds, we saw the gameplay. It looks good. It sounds good. I mean, what was like your raw reaction? Because this happened in the middle of the night. It leaked on, I think like a YouTube channel, but an Australian site covered it. And Reddit too. Okay. So what did you feel when you saw that? Were you like, I'm in?
Yeah, I mean, other than I didn't like that on the left there were the like spell names, like a hot button of some kind. It was like
kind of reminded me of,
was like
not to cut you off, but it reminded me of like the HUD of Dragon's Dogma. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Just like the names all on the left.
Oh, gotcha.
Anyway, sorry.
No, that's all right. I was just trying to think back. I cannot remember that, but it reminds me. I mean, it's just got those spells. Like that was sort of in your face. So I hope those are gone. Mm-hmm. But overall, it looked awesome because I'm going to be honest. The reason why I think so many people thought originally it was Rocksteady doing it is because it had a Batman vibe. It had that 3D view. It had the distance was about that kind of distance. It had the rolling. It had big battles going on. It had small battles. It had interactions, cutscenes. It was one of those times also where I heard somebody be like, "Oh, that's fake," and I'm like, first of all, if somebody's spending that much money on a fake, because there was a lot going on, then they probably have more money than they need to develop a real one. But yeah, it looked awesome to me, and I would die for that kind of thing. I think that'd be a blast. I love Harry Potter.
How do you feel that they're actually gonna? It looks like try to incorporate choice and consequence. I mean, the choosing a witch or a wizard, light or dark. I was a little surprised by that. I thought it was gonna be almost a framework, because it's gonna be like a first time trying it where they're like, okay, let's do the create your own character, pick your school, create spells, and I thought it'd stop there. How do you feel that it seems like they're gonna focus on like story shit too?
Well, I mean, as long as they give like a goal everybody could achieve regardless of house that you get. So like if the goal at the end of this game is to figure out what's going on in the forest and gather some item that's corrupting everything, the bad guys gather it to gain power from it. The good guys gather it to put it in the Chamber of Secrets and lock it up. So to be honest, until we see how much choice there is, it could be a Mass Effect, blah, blah, blah. It could be an Odyssey, which is more binary. It could be something incredibly in-depth like Divinity, which I don't think it will. I think it'll be a mix of all those. But I love the idea of that because that's what I would want to do I would want to house ACG, bitch.
Yeah.
I'll be wanting you right in the nuts the entire time. So no, I like that.
I liked some of the grittiness I saw. There was a point in the trailer where you blasted a hole in the wall and a goblin fell back onto a sword and got impaled. Not that Harry Potter, like the movies, I apologize, folks, by the way. I have not read the books, so if you are going to elitist me, feel free. But I had seen there were some gritty-ish scenes so far in
Yeah.
the movies I'd seen, but like nothing along those lines where I was like, oh shit, you know, you really just blasted that goblin and completely murdered him.
Yeah.
I got some, maybe I read into it a little too deep, but when I was reading what I imagine is going to be the press release, I got a feeling.
I have a question. I have two
go for it.
questions for you. Sorry, did you notice the two weird things? One, you're a late student,
Yes.
which seemed really weird to me. And then I think they said you're fifth year. I
Yeah.
thought it goes the opposite way, where first year is your first year. If that's true, then you jumped into the senior year. I don't remember. I thought Harry Potter was you're a first year student, which means first year, not
Yeah.
like some schools go reverse for whatever reason. Second year, third year, fourth year. You're a fifth year student. Like, that's what confused me. Those two combined
here.
things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we could. You want me to look it up?
I'm just double checking. Yeah, you are a newly arrived fifth year student to Hogwarts. Yeah, I would double check that just so that we can confirm. Says you are.
Yeah, first year. Yeah, yeah. So he is. So first year is indeed 11 to 12 years of age. You begin the year. That's your first year. So fifth year, the only reason I could figure that they say you're late and all that stuff is because they want you to be older in the game.
Yeah, well, that and also it says
17.
It says that demonstrates a latent gift for magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. So maybe like you're a special student and therefore you are accepted and put at a higher level instantly. Just to guess. What I was saying though originally, unless did you have one more thing because you said two things?
No, those were the two things. Fifth
Okay.
year and the late student.
Yeah, just making sure. It was just one part where they were like saying make new friends. I just kept getting, and especially because I saw like a squad with you in the game, I feel like I saw other people there.
No, you did. Yeah, there
I
was
was
other
gonna
people
say,
playing.
I don't know if it was like multiplayer or. You know,
That'd be cool.
That would be very cool, because what it says is this third-person open-world action RPG centers around your character with unique abilities who has earned a late acceptance to Hogwarts. Okay, so late acceptance. I guess you applied many years ago or something like that. It doesn't say anything about it being single-player only. And then it says features.
Oh, gotcha.
Journey to Hogwarts, become one of 8 different wizard types, experience Hogwarts, make new friends. There seems to be an emphasis on, like, be different, be unique. And now this could be for multiple playthroughs in a single-player game. That would be fucking amazing. I'd be so happy with that. But we know this industry at this point. Presumably Warner Brothers is publishing this, and they like their money. So I feel like this is going to have to be some type of multiplayer.
Co-op, maybe? Or
I would love that, though. That would be great if it was co-op.
It'd be great, but I mean, it also, the moment you add co-op, then you sort of adjust how other things work. Like, do you go to class like Bully? Because if you do, then multiplayer is not going to be. There may be some oddities there. There could be some fun parts, but there's oddities in how everybody sort of, I guess, experiences that year of school. It sounds to me, at least from what they're saying. It sounds to me like you're going to be there, but most likely it'll be like a lot of fucking TV shows with kids in school where they never go to school. Or they never go to class. Sorry, they're there, but they'll just be fucking off like 90210 the entire time. So,
it might just be a single-player game because they're saying that you are a fifth-year student, unless everybody is
and you
fifth
have
year.
a specific, it says even a rare gift to blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. I don't know if 4 people would show up all showing the rare gift.
So maybe, because if so, and then they got the story choices. Hopefully, I mean, I feel bad that this got leaked because I feel like, and not in a bad way, but nobody was talking about the idea of a Harry Potter RPG. No one was asking for it.
It could have hit with a bang.
Exactly, but it leaked, and I completely agree. If I'm Warner Bros., like usually I'm like, oh, lighten up, but like if I'm Warner Brothers, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah, because you know why? Wouldn't you assume Video Game Awards is where this was probably going to up? Because the Video Game Awards, they do always show early games. And it's just like, to me, it seems like, imagine being like, everything's dark. And it's like, and it does the music. And you're like, oh, shit, are you kidding me? And then it shows a Batman looking Harry Potter, I'm sure people would have fucking
And you know what's
exploded.
interesting? Now that you mentioned that, I'll have to double check his Twitter, but usually Jeff Keighley is like one to comment and be like, "Whoa, look at that."
Yeah,
And I don't think he did. Now that you mentioned that, the only idea I have is maybe it was for like the Xbox event in November,
yeah,
but
could be.
I doubt it. What do you think about? There was the rumor at first that it was Rocksteady, and then it went to Avalanche. I'm sorry, this did not look like an Avalanche game, though. I mean, we're talking Rage, which is a split development, but we're also talking Just Cause. And I'm like, looking at this gameplay, and it looks explosive, it looks fun, but I'm like, what do you mean Avalanche is making this? So how do you feel about that? And we'll talk about this now, is that there was, as you had mentioned, some type of Batman trademark that was made, which kind of removed Rocksteady.
Oh yeah, probably and it probably confused people too. But yeah, so Avalanche Software and Avalanche Studios are different, and there's one company that's like made up of ex-Disney Infinity employees, which is this Harry Potter game called Avalanche. Then there's Avalanche, who does Rage. And so what happened, I believe, is that once people were like, it's probably not Rocksteady, and a Jason, I can't fucking remember his name. He's a journalist.
Schreier?
Maybe. He said he said something like, when they said it's he said something like, no, it's not them, or somebody else said, no, it's not them. And so people started looking around, and then they looked at LinkedIn, and they found a bunch of hiring for Avalanche that fits Harry Potter. So my opinion is it'll be those guys. And the Avalanche confusion was simply due to the name. Somebody said it, and I think it spread quickly, and people assumed Avalanche meant the Rage guys and didn't realize that there was multiple companies with that name.
Okay.
When it comes to Rocksteady,
to clarify,
it looks like
there are
two
separate
companies.
Avalanche. Okay, and this one does it have anything to do with the Avalanche that we've come to know?
It has nothing to do with the Avalanche we've come to know. No, nothing whatsoever. And so it's nothing like even, BG or Bethesda and what do you call it? Like it's not even that close. It's completely separated. So there's that. And then we were talking about this prior to the podcast. There was somebody looked at trademarks, and Batman Universe was purchased, I guess, back when Asylum, Batman Origins, Batman City, all those trademarks were purchased. And there was another rumor on Reddit. Now, this is on Reddit, mind you. But there was another rumor on Reddit that came out around the same time that was saying that the reason why people were confused and thought this new Rocksteady game might be a Justice League was actually because it's Batman Universe, which is where you can play multiple people working with Batman in a Batman game. And then there was a bunch, there's a little too much information. Whenever I see a rumor like that and there's a bunch of data, I'm like, But it does fit that they're doing something. I still think it's Superman, most likely, or something not Batman, but we'll see. Like, I can't tell, because, like, some people talk about it like, oh, it's for sure Batman, and other people are like, no, it's not for sure. So it's hard to know.
See, I can't sit here and act like if it were a new Batman game, I wouldn't be excited, because I absolutely would be. I love Batman. I find him a very interesting hero. I just feel like, okay, he's gotten his look. It's time for someone new. Now, if it was this Batman universe where we're going to get Robin, Nightwing, like maybe even let us play as the villains, because I know in Batman Arkham Asylum there was the Joker challenge map DLC, which kind of let you fuck around with the Joker, and that was cool too. And so I would love to see just like a universe like that where you're able to play on both sides, and if they're gonna go back to Batman, like fucking elevate it. Like, you play as a bunch of heroes, you got a story on that side, and you have a bunch of villains, and you can play the story on that side. They have different combos, different fighting styles. It's just a whole another level of superhero gaming that we've never fucking seen before. That's where, if they're going to go back to Batman. If they're going to do a new hero, though, I think that grants them some leeway as we kind of figure it out. Because when you look at Asylum Batman versus Arkham Knight Batman, he's vastly improved, a larger skill set, different enemy types are gradually incorporated. It was a much more expensive game where I think you can start small and grow again, with another hero if they were to do, I always say, but the Flash or
Green Arrow is
presumably
what I
Green
always
Arrow, yeah, that. So I feel like they should go to a new hero, just because if I'm them, I'm like, okay, Rocksteady's done 3 Batman games. The series of Arkham has 4 Batman games. It's like, okay, we've Arkhamed it up, and maybe they just love Batman. Maybe they're just like, let's stick with Batman, and if so, that's fine. But I feel like if I were there, I'd be like, let's do something different, because we've done Arkham games since like what, 08, 09?
Yeah, and they said that this last one was definitely the end of their stint with Batman, but they can say that and it can still be a Batman League game.
Mm-hmm.
They can say we're done with Batman as a main blah blah blah, but there's other things you could certainly do. I also believe if it's going to be Batman, this would never happen. But I wish it was a different version of Batman, like the comic book where like Bruce dies and his dad is the one who lives and becomes like the aged, crotchety, pissy Batman who kills people. If they were gonna do a Batman, I would want to see some pretty crazy shit, like yourself.
Yeah.
If they're gonna do a group Batman game, it needs to have a bunch of characters, and there needs to be some shit that, we haven't seen before. Because I like Batman, but they closed it off themselves with their story. I mean, the ending of Batman Arkham Knight is pretty final. So.
Yeah, and then the thing though is the secret ending kind of.
Oh, true. I forgot all about
that. A little bit.
That is true.
Yeah, spoiler warning. If you have not played Batman Arkham Knights, you have not seen the secret ending, and you plan on doing it yourself.
2 or 3 years old, though?
Yeah, I've learned, man. I casually spoiled Fallout 4 story in a video last year, I think, and people bugged out. So I was just like, okay,
gotcha.
I'll just do it just in case, even if it is old.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Then. Yeah, so just click off now if you don't want to listen, or skip ahead. But anyway, at the end of the secret ending for Batman Arkham Knight, there is I think they called it Nightmare Bat, who jumps off the building. Some type of Batman is still in the city. Some legacy is continuing on, even though Bruce Wayne had pretty much, I believe, retired. So something's still going on there, but I thought that was kind of the tradition continues on. Maybe in another Batman game we pick him up, but presumably that was it, just to kind of say there's still a hero watching over the city, and now we move on.
Yeah.
But
imagine what if they did like that.
Okay.
But that Batman obviously can't leave because he's fucking looking like a vampire and shit, and probably doesn't have the best social skills. So what if the next game is it is called a Batman, but really it's just everybody taking up the mantle of Batman? The night, as a savior of Gotham, so you have your Nightwing and all those things. That would work. That would work because you're just like, hey, we're maybe even living in Bruce's, manor and being like, we're taking his shit. He's retired. Maybe he's just financing everything, and the rest of us are the ones going out there and doing shit. Is he Alfred? Is he now Alfred and he's running around just helping you? I mean, it works if you have a good writer. If you have a good writer, you can easily do that. It just depends on if any of this is real. And the reason why we're fucking talking about it is because we've waited so long for any Rocksteady data.
I'm going to be upset with anything they do that's not Ninja Turtles. It's as simple as that.
That's a very specific anger.
They fit so perfectly. And the Ninja Turtles license is it's like Harry Potter. Except I've been vocal about the Ninja Turtles and been like, yo, you motherfuckers can make a really good game here in this universe. No one's done it in a really long time. It's like Spider-Man. It's had its good games. It's had its bad games. It's been long enough. It's time for a resurgence. Someone pick up the IP, because Activision lost it, and make a good, modern, functionable TMNT game. I thought Platinum could have done it, because that's a great match right there, right? You'd think that would work, but it was, of course...
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
It was, of course, their fucking F team who fucks off home, and I'm sorry, just doesn't make games like Nier, or help make game like Nier.
Dude, Transformers.
Yeah, Transformers, which was all of them. I mean, their Platinum makes really good games, and then there's that team that just does Korra and TMNT, and they're like, we're gonna ruin people like Matty. Fingers crossed on that. Harry Potter leak looks great. Presumably we'll see the official reveal in the next couple of months. And hopefully I'm caught up on all Harry Potter stuff because I would love to cover that game. It looked really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, moving on to our next topic, one that Karak has been very vocal about. AC Odyssey. I spelled Odyssey with 2 Ds. I swear to God, Oddworld has fucked up my spelling permanently.
Yeah, mine as well for Odyssey.
Oh my God. I always type it in with 2 Ds first, and then I fix it to 1 D. Anyway, AC Odyssey picks up after 15 hours. Karak and I finally are able to release our reviews for this game and talk about it in full. We had gone over general impressions last week. Now we can talk about, I guess, this headline a little bit and also the game in general. What do you think about, this game picking up after 15 hours? The claim, rather.
Like I said in my post or my tweet, it was like the only way that's true is if you pause the first cutscene for 14 hours and 50 minutes. Like there is a prologue like there is for Horizon, for example.
Yes.
But it's like, to me, I don't feel that that's one thing I would say in the game's behalf, now that I think about it, is it doesn't really need to pick up. It's telling a specific story. It continually offers new mechanics like the cultist group.
Love that.
And stuff. One of my favorite parts of any Assassin's Creed game, for sure, when that popped up. So I mean, I get it because everybody plays games differently. I totally get that. But I just found it so, especially when looking at other things that group had said, and it was just all over the board. It was like, great game, but there's this, and it was a problem that anybody else would have said, terrible game. And then it was like, great game, but this, and it was after a while, I just started being super snarky on Twitch, or on Twitter, like really snarky. I even made a fake, did you see my fake Assassin's Creed Odyssey loading screen?
Oh, the loading screen's, holy shit, yeah.
Yeah.
How the hell did you do that?
I just went in there with GIMP, the program that's like Photoshop, but it's free. It's called GIMP, GIMP, and just went in there and fucking, sampled the color and said like it's grindy, blah blah blah, and put in my own thing. But I mean, I don't know what you would be doing for 15 hours to where you would even have to say that. You could say it takes an hour or so because as you're playing, things ramp up, you start finding stuff out, and then you have your Assassin's Creed title that pops up a couple hours in. But it just seemed like hyperbole to me. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a game that's digested well for me, where after the fact I was like, that was really good. I really enjoyed that one, and it might fight for a spot on my top list at the end of the year that I always do for games I enjoyed the most. I really liked Cassandra as an assassin, dude. She was great. I thought her story was good. I thought Ubisoft actually had some moments of really funny character building, writing. I guess that's not the right sentence there, but good writing and with good character building, rather, and some funny moments. It was just, I thought they did a great job with her. And it was like, enough of the Ezio copycats. Give us something fresh. Give us someone new, someone who's original. And I feel like with this game, they kind of just went, fuck it, and just like did what they wanted to do for so long. It kind of gave up that vibe where they did supernatural stuff. They had mythical creatures. You were jumping off cliffs and not getting fall damage eventually. Like, cool things that really let the game become one of its own in both the gameplay and the dialogue.
Dude, there were crazy, like, I would agree with all that. I think every game's got its issues. This one certainly has issues as well.
Yes.
But when it comes to, like, after playing it, I returned back just to play Cassandra because I played Alexio. And it's funny because as I was playing it, right around level 30 or something like that, I realized, so there's 4 ways to take out, this is just one example, there's 4 ways to take out the mercenaries. You can basically fight them, run from them the entire time, pay them off, or kill the bounty creator, right?
Right.
But what I learned was, when you pay them off, they don't disappear from the game world. That's actually pretty rare. Normally when, like, cops go away, they just go away. You can't follow the cop in GTA back to his base. But the mercenaries walk around. So what I found out was, make sure the mercenary is following you or chasing you, get near a cliff, then pay them off. So now they're white, then walk around them and kick them off the cliff. And the NPCs do not react because that he is a militant. He's like a fighter. They do not react, and you don't get more bounties. So I got 3 guys way above my level. Like I was like, 30. They were like 35 level mercenaries. Waited until they were right near me, and then paid them off, and then ran around, lit them on fire, kicked them off the thing, and they got eaten by sharks. And I was like, that is the greatest fucking day I've ever had.
I like
so that. And the stuff about, like, I don't know if you saw the Boomstick Gaming video I posted, but he said 21 ways to take out a single place in Assassin's Creed. And he had all these different ways. Some were goofy, but he had one called the Viking Burial. And it's where he ran around, knocked everybody out, put them on a small boat, sent the boat out into the water, and lit the boat on fire. And I was like, dude, yeah, I was like, I had forgotten that. Or lighting the tents on fire. I did not know you could light the tents on fire until I was probably level 15.
What happened, I found that out. I'm sneaking around the base. I'm like, I'm good. And then I grab a guy who's holding a torch at night. I stab him in the neck, and I pull him into the bush, and I'm crouched in the bush. And I start taking damage. I'm like, what the fuck? And the bush had set on fire because he dropped his torch in the bush. So I thought that was a cool level of detail there. Ubisoft games have always been notorious for the cool levels of detail in their worlds. I just
think that this is the first one because of the passive skills, or not passive skills, but passive and active skills. I think it's, for whatever reason, it just worked well for me. Right. And the little things like kicking somebody off if they're bleeding, a shark can kill them. Those kind of things. Lighting, I didn't realize you could light a tent on fire until I panicked in the middle of a fight when I had it on the hardest difficulty, and I didn't know where my save was, and I was like, oh my god, and I was getting my ass kicked, and I panicked and threw the torch on accident, and it lit a tent on fire, and I was like, are you kidding me? And from that point on, wait until nighttime, some people will go lay down, light the tent on fire, and poison. I also saw your video, very good video about your numbering, where it's like you got to pay attention to how you attack the enemy. Because, dude, if you don't pay attention to what your numbers are, you can end up hammering on a dude for 18 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And I tried to highlight that because...
Yeah, no, you did.
Thank you. A couple of people were like, well, dude, look at your warrior damage. Of course you're not going to kill him fast. And I'm like, that was my point, because
that is exactly
I built a assassination and hunter character who my equipment fortified all that, and I grabbed someone and did a ability that was fully upgraded on them for assassination characters, and the motherfucker was still alive, where I had to get into combat anyway. I was like, and then that's where sponginess becomes an issue that you kind of tug around with, and that's why I was talking about it. I used... because in that video, I was like, okay, I'm going to try... It was actually kind of like a walk-in-the-walk style video, now that I think about it. So I was like, I want to try just kind of like a live commentary while I play the game, which is never a good idea for me, because I'm not an easily distracted person, but I will lose my train of thought if I'm like watching something happen on screen. I'm trying to think of something kind of intelligent to say. And so I had like misused a word so fucking bad. I think I said like... What did I say? I said the word reprimand, but I used it in a way that made no fucking sense.
No sense.
And the top rated comment was just like, reprimand doesn't mean what you think it does, Matty boy.
Oh, gotcha.
But that was a video I really enjoyed. I want to do more of those. A lot of people were like, I like the discussion. It was thought provoking. Do this for more games. And I was like, you know what? Number one, it was fun to do. Number two, I like making people think. And number three, it was a lot easier to create than any other video I've done in a while, where, with Elgato, because I used an HD PVR for so long, I was like, oh fuck, you can like click this button and now it's recording my voice, and I'm like, wait, what about, I gotta mess around with the gameplay track and the commentary track, and then I find out, oh, it lowers the game volume anytime I fucking speak.
Yeah, it auto ducks.
I'm like, nice. What? So I can just do these live videos, messing up and trying to spit out words, and it made for a fun video to make.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did almost the exact same thing for Vampire when I was trying, or Vampire when I was trying to explain the fun factor of Vampire, because I really enjoyed the game. But I was like, hey, let's look at like difficulty and your damage soaking, and nothing near what a Dark Souls YouTuber would do, where they're like, this build is 0.37, but yeah, those are useful. And I think one of the things it showed is that when, for example, I watched a YouTuber beat the game, and I heard somebody say like, oh, the game's grindy, and this YouTuber quite literally never stopped going up in levels. So I was like, okay, wait a minute. There was bits of grind like any RPG, but nowhere near what there was a couple complaints, actually not very many, but a couple complaints about grind. I started looking into it, and my personal opinion is that when all is said and done about Odyssey, what we're going to find out is most people are not paying attention to their skills and how they attribute to their numbers. But additionally, I think people are seeing the numbers and thinking they're points, because there's one that says it does 300% more damage.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
assassination scale.
Yeah, the thing is, if you have weaker weapons, 300% is massively lower than if you have, because it's a percent, not 300 points. And so and people are getting these skills, and I see them not using them, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? Because I poison a guy, light him on fire, then kick him off a cliff, and the dude's dead, even if he's 2 levels above me. So how the fuck am I getting through it, or a YouTuber I'm watching getting through it, where somebody else says there's an issue? I have a feeling in like 6 months or whatever, when we go back and look at it, we'll find that there's maybe the way the company's giving data to the player in that game isn't the greatest. You and I didn't seem to hit it, but others obviously did. There was a couple at least.
Well, I had noted, I don't know if I noted it in my review because I didn't think it was like a good talking point, but I had noticed myself that I was like, okay, there's a lot of data to account for here, and to take in, and it's very easy. It's not like a slight or anything. It's just very easy to kind of lose track of, when you're building. You just kind of get lost in the moments, and you don't realize that, I should probably continue building in a warrior's direction, because you're trying to feel out the gameplay, understand the systems. Yeah, you're trying to you're trying to feel out skills, what works best. Because I certainly got skills that I found pretty useless, like the poison on the weapon. I'd add it, I'd poison the enemy, and I'd do 34 damage to them, per second, and I'm like, this is really weak.
You have to stack that one for it to really do anything.
Exactly. And so it's like, okay, this is, and you're figuring that out on top of, like I said, your loot. The numbers that pop up on screen, they're always giving you new loot, so you're like, you just see the big DPS go up. You're like, fuck it, why not? Without noticing the sub skills, which,
poison, being one of them, magnifies poison by 25% or something.
Exactly.
Or fire.
And you know what? Here we go. I think I just kind of fortified my own point by saying that. I had forgot, poison's a skill too that you can upgrade through your equipment. So I had never even thought, hey, if I take this poison skill, put on a bunch of equipment that buffs it by 60%, suddenly I'm doing like 1,000 damage per second with that poison on top of my weapon attacks. And it's like, that's fucking deadly. I mean, there's a lot to account for, and there's a lot of openness to it, but it's so open that I think to simplify and understand things, I'm guilty of it too. You just kind of narrow it down to what you're comfortable with.
I also feel that if you're going to build a poison or fire build, what have you, or any kind of damage over time build in that game in particular, it works the best in a multi-enemy state. And the reason why is because if you poison somebody and then hit them with your own sword, you're really not doing yourself justice, because the damage is slower on the poison and you're just hitting them anyway. So you're like, I've got them for 6 seconds of damage, but they're only doing like this amount each time.
Right.
And fire's the same way. But fire, the one nice thing is, and with poison, once you raise those levels up, fire can cause panic and poison can cause them to retch or whatever. And confusion, I think, is what it's called.
Right.
But if you're hitting them in a single player battle, you're hitting them with like poison and then smashing them with your sword. Like I said, it's still useful. It's just not as useful as, let's say, I was poisoning them and stunning them and then walking off and killing somebody else. So they were getting damage, and I was not worrying about them because they were over here getting constant damage.
Right.
And I was then taking on a second enemy, assassinating somebody, and then returning to them. And now they were getting up. They were fine again. We started fighting again, and then I repeated it. Also, weapons that cause any stun allow for poison and fire to work twice as much. So if you have a heavy axe and you and you light somebody on fire, when you stun them, you have exactly double the amount of time before they return to like fighting readiness. when you swing your light attack. Because I use the big axe. I don't know what you used. I use the hand axe or the maces. The big.
I tried everything. I gravitated more towards swords and daggers.
Okay.
I thought spears were like not a good in between.
I did not like spears.
Yeah. And the staves. The staves were probably my favorite. Whenever I had a good staff, I tried to stick with it as long as possible.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I just noticed that there's a lot of idiosyncrasies that I think, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of data there, and I think some people, I mean, and I'm sure some people just had a grindy experience for whatever reason, but I think a lot of people are missing some of the data that's available in the game, and they don't do the greatest job delivering it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is grindy at times in the terms of like level gating, but if you're enjoying the content, it's different, because here's the thing is that, and I had said this when I think I was previewing it, I was like, as a reviewer, the level gating is a little more frustrating because there is a timestamp on like, I have to have this done in 10 days. So I need to play the main story. In my opinion, that's part of my review philosophy. Everyone does it differently. I need to play the main story, at least see that through, because I've experienced a ton of this side content already, to say like, here is my fully fortified opinion as someone who has played 50 plus hours of this game. Not that impressions are bad, but you just want the game done by them, where I think a lot of people will not care as much about level gating because they don't have the timestamp. But however, my big issue I highlighted with the level gating was the story was good. So I wanted more of the story. And when I was level 27, they're like, to continue on in this region, and it was at a really good moment, they're like, you need to be level 32. And I'm like, that's like 7 hours of gameplay not involving the story. It ended up being that I had to invest in this title to get to that point and continue what was, at that point, it was still a good story. And I continued onwards, and it was accounting for choices, and it was great. But I was like, I wish I didn't have to wait so long to get back to it. So
yeah, I didn't have that. I was always above levels. So, I mean, so there was a 4-level gap when I got that mission. When you get the big gap in the story, there's the one, but it's way later than somebody said it was at 15. There's nothing. I mean, that kind of stuff is easy. When you get into the 20s, obviously, yeah, it can be a little harder. But it's weird because now who knows how everybody experiences the game differently. But for example, I noticed that when you kill a guy above your level, you didn't get a ton of more experience than if he was at your level. It wasn't like you just got 80 billion experience, right? So it's like 3,000 for a normal guy, or 3,000, maybe 500 or 4,000 for a heavier, a leveled up guy. So I just basically did quests in my area, you know, like whatever I saw through the most of the game, you know, and tested that. And luckily there, I only had like I said, like 3 or 4, and then I went into it, and almost every level I was either over leveled or under leveled by 1. I almost never was identical in the entire playthrough. In fact, in the entire playthrough, I can probably only remember 1 or 2 where the number. Now remember, I jumped from easy, medium, hard, guided exploration because I was testing all the difficulties.
Same.
But I was jumping, and so I remember going into a quest and being like, oh shit, you know, I'm a level over. I don't want it to be too easy, because I didn't realize that at that point that level gating, or that leveling for lower level quests was coming up, which is what Origins did. I had just forgot, which I actually like. A lot of people aren't a fan of that. I love it because I don't want to go and defeat a dude in one like attack who looks pretty much the same as this guy over here who's level 15. So to me, I was okay with that. But yeah, it was odd because I don't know. I firmly believe that like there's some bit of data there that needs a tutorial or two.
Yeah,
needs an extra
for
hint
once,
screen.
you know, they're very quick to let you off the leash, and it's like I get
maybe
torn.
too quick or something.
Not even too quick, because I get torn here, because there was a game I reviewed that or played, and I swear like every 10 seconds they were giving me like a big text box pop up. And it's like, okay, I just want to play. It's not coming to me right now, but I would rather figure it out for myself and stumble a little bit than have 1,000,001 text boxes coming up saying like, this is how you play the game. I don't like when a game directly tells you how to play. I like there's a sense of discovery, but I think there could have been little, like, you open up. You know what game it was, actually? And this is one of the things that, like, as the title's aged, I haven't been a huge fan of it. Is that it's KOTOR. That's what it was. It was, you know, with when you open up your inventory, big text box. You switch your tab, another big text box. And it just stops the action. It's like security, big text box. It's like, okay. And part of it's I've played the game so many fucking times. I could literally explain to the game how it does its things. But you know, like I was saying, it definitely has developed in me. Like, okay, I don't like just text box pop-ups. I think there's more organic ways as games have progressed nowadays to teach us things, even if it's a little, like, you open up the menu and there's a little highlight around something and it's got like a little text box there just saying, like, this is your warrior damage, this is marked, this is increased by equipping X type of weapons, it's best with X type of weapons, don't forget your skills. Boom. Right. That's it. Just little things.
I also think it's important that to remember, especially in this game, there's 3 main stories, and it just dawned on me, I had the big gap, but I had another main story, the side story, to go on. So to me, and it wasn't a side story, it was, you know how you get the block, and it's like main story block with like 5 missions, main story block with like 5 missions.
Yeah.
I must have done it at a different timing than you, but when it came up to the one time where there's like 4 levels, I had a side story block that was right at the next level. So by doing that,
so you were like,
then so I just went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where now that I'm listening to how you experienced it, it dawned on me, if you had gone through for whatever reason this one a little quicker than me, then when you do get to this one, there isn't this one to fill in that gap.
Right.
And that's the gap that it sounds like you had. Even though it wasn't that long a one, but it's still a gap.
It was still there, yeah. So, great game, though. Highly recommend checking it out.
Just fun overall.
I don't know. What was your final rating for it?
Oh, definitely a buy. Yeah, I was like, I mean, I didn't like the microtransactions that they're there, but luckily
that's why
they
I
were off.
Wait for like a small sale.
Oh, the nice thing is they were off. So, like, I couldn't use them even if I wanted to. The store wasn't working. So that was always nice to sort of see exactly what the consumer was going to get. It was also nice of them to say that the code that we were using was the retail code, which turned out to be true. Because sometimes they'll say that, and then there'll be a patch anyway. So, yeah, overall, I definitely, it was so much fun. And, again, I'm playing it right now. Again. So, obviously, I enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely worth giving a look. Anyway. Let's move on to our last topic. If you guys don't remember, those of you who are longtime listeners will, there was a little segment I had introduced called Weaboo Whoppers, and a lot of you actually enjoyed it and were like, do that more. So I only like to do it when there's enough JRPG news that pops up that I care about. I think last time I did it, we talked a lot about Dragon Ball, but this past 2 days has made for a nice little Weaboo Whoppers section. So, let us begin. The most exciting bit is that the writer and directors of both Zero Escape and Danganronpa have teamed up for a Danganronpa spiritual successor called Death March Club. So Danganronpa's Kazutaka Kodaka and Zero Escape's Kotaro Uchikoshi announced last month that they have departed publisher Spike Chunsoft and formed their own studio, 2Kyo Games. Today, the pair officially revealed their first game, Death March Club, which they plan to release in 2020. It follows a group of a dozen misfit school kids, each around 12 years old, who get into a car accident on a school trip and wake up finding themselves in an abandoned underwater amusement park where a clown forces them to play a battle royale style murder game.
Because of course that's what happens when you get in a car wreck. That's awesome.
So I know, Karak, you haven't played Danganronpa, correct?
Okay. Nope.
So some people may be scratching their heads. What sick fuck would do this? But Danganronpa is a game where you end up trapped in a school building, and the only way to escape is you kill your closest friends. And it is, I've said it time and time again, I am in the process of working on a video for the long run that discusses the series as a whole, but Danganronpa is one of the best new series that has come out in the recent years. It has some of my favorite characters of all time. It has one of my favorite stories of all time in V3. It's very bold. It's well written. And a testament to that is just the fact that I'm not a huge visual novel player, and the writing is so good that people who hate visual novels, friends of mine who hate visual novels, friends of mine who hate Japanese games, love Danganronpa. It's a lot like Persona in that way, where it's like, okay, I don't like Japanese games that much. They're just not my thing, but I love Persona. Same thing happens at Danganronpa. So Death March Club, right up my alley. For those who don't follow this company, they're also doing a game called, I think, Zanki, which is Zanki something, which is more of a first-person dungeon crawler with combat and similar narrative style of like these characters are super unique and the premise is unheard of. So these are just some of the most creative people in the games industry, and I think their games should get a good look. Does any of Danganronpa or Death March Club make you go like, you know what, that sounds crazy enough, I want to play?
No.
No? That was a flat no. I was like, you knew before I even asked.
Yeah, not at all. Like, I don't know.
No fucking way.
Mean, it doesn't mean that, like, if somebody, if like somehow, you know, if somehow I got it or something like that, it doesn't mean I wouldn't play it, because I absolutely would check it out. But what you're describing and those kind of weird things, Persona's probably the oddest I'll go with. And even then, I'm like, sometimes I am not at all interested in like the Japanese style of humor overall or anything. So it's difficult sometimes for me to like it. I love the idea of running around killing your best friends. Like, that's funny. And I love the idea of a clown forcing you to do shit after you fucking got in a car wreck. Like, it makes no sense.
It's fucked up.
But at the same time, there's that game Deadly Premonition. Did you play that? It was like Twin Peaks. Oh, dude. So the difference between what I like and that is Alan Wake versus Deadly Premonition, which unfortunately now you're not going to understand. But there's a Western style of goofiness and horror, and then there's the Japanese style, and it just doesn't click for me for whatever reason.
Gotcha. So on top of that, we have Yugi Moto gameplay, which was revealed for Jump Force in a trailer. Those who don't know, that is the main character from Yu-Gi-Oh! Jump Force looks solid. I played it at E3. I wasn't super impressed, to be honest. I thought that it was clunky. I've voiced my opinion on how I hate when we have these super powerful protagonists and characters from games, and when they get like punched, there's not like a recovery button that lets you get up on the fly. It's like you lay there, you take like 2 big deep breaths, and then your character just stands up like a normal person. I think it just strips away the power fantasy. This game suffers from that. But what's interesting is Yugi will like kind of stand in the background while, like, for example, Dark Magician will fight. So there was that. That was cool. Are you interested at all in Jump Force? I know it's Japanese, but like, it's a fighter. I
mean, no.
No, okay. No. I'm over 2 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is I love Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Like, I absolutely love it. So it's like a fighting game. I love fighting games. Usually the genre will attract me more than the... If it's like Western style, it can be almost anything, and I'm fine. If it's Japanese style, usually it's the genre that'll pull me towards it. So, for example, I used to like JRPGs when I was younger. That would pull me, that would definitely pull me as a genre. Now it's more... Now fighters certainly pull me. So I could see, like, gravitating towards it if it's that kind of game. EDF shooters, Earth Defense Force. Love that game. Completely, absolutely mired in the Japanese. So, very good. I never played that. The EDF, oh, dude, you'd love them. You would love. They're over the top, just absolute anarchy. 4 players, same screen, like giant ants. It's basically like the best B-movie video game you could ever play. Yeah, every creature you can think of from like old movies, like everything from giant robots to ants to, UFOs. It's very cool.
Wow, it's like Destroy All Humans, but
but in first person or third person. Yeah.
Wow. And the last bit for the Weaboo Whoppers is Kingdom Hearts The Story So Far bundle was revealed. So that's 9 Kingdom Hearts games on disc for $40. If you have missed out on your chance to catch up on Kingdom Hearts, this is the right package for it at a good price, but I will say that that is hundreds of hours of gameplay that I don't know if any person would be able to get through before Kingdom Hearts 3 drops at the end of January. You would literally have to buy it. It's not even like it's out now. Like, you would have to buy it on release. I think it's sometime in October. And that would have to be the only game you play for most of your free time that you ever have available until Kingdom Hearts 3 drops. And by then, you will be burnt out, and you will not like Kingdom Hearts 3.
You could do what I did with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because I got mine a day after you did, so I fucking just stayed up for 23 hours and played it the very first night.
Yeah, you can do that for your own entertainment.
Night into day. You could do that if you want to possibly have a stroke.
And, you know, on top of that, I feel like you're just, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, if you are looking to get into Kingdom Hearts 3,
yeah, right,
play
or watch a YouTube.
I was just going to say, like, if you're looking for the good ones to play, the ones to be like, okay, this is what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to draw from gameplay-wise, these are the major characters, play 2, play Birth by Sleep. I think they're all worth playing, but those are, like, the main ones. 1 is great, 1's the most easy to understand, but 2 and Birth by Sleep are, like, the heralded Kingdom Hearts titles. They are the best ones. And 0.2, just so that you can get a feel for what Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to feel like in engine, because it's totally different now. But everything else, just do yourself a favor, YouTube it. And there are great content creators out there in the Kingdom Hearts community. My favorite one, personally, a little shout out, the Gamers Joint. He is just a wonderful personality, and he delivers the information in spectacular fashion. Highly recommend giving him a look. He used to do a series on the Kingdom Hearts lore. I forgot, he had a name for it, but he would focus in on little parts of the Kingdom Hearts universe in, like, each episode and fully explain it, like the difference between, like, Vanitas, Ventus, Roxas, Sora, like all these characters who kind of look the same, but yet they're tied together in a way, and it's very confusing. So, like I said, you can kind of just hop into 2, play it, understand, okay, this is what is going to be, you know, because 2 and Birth by Sleep are kind of a hybrid that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be taking inspiration from, and then the story is just, it's so fucking confusing that get a general idea who the characters are, look up an explanation. That would be my tip for those of you out there who are looking to get into Kingdom Hearts, which I understand why, because 3 looks amazing. Are you excited for 3 at all?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I was actually going to say that's the one series of games that I actually have played. So,
all right.
I personally I was more interested once I saw the fucking magic choo-choo train attack, and I was like, this is my jam. That kind of shit, really cool. It just really depends on how that story is presented, though. Like, if I'm gonna like it or not. I'm definitely a little bit more Western style 1, 2, 3. And the one thing I will say about Kingdom Hearts is, at times you can look at it and go, the fuck, like, what, like, so that'll be the sort of the deciding point for me. But yeah, I'm definitely stoked for that game. It looks fantastic. Yeah, God, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, the graphic style on its own, just you know, just nailing a Pixar graphic style, but not making characters who aren't from Pixar look funky. Right. Really, really fantastic work they're doing there. But that is everything that we've got for you guys this week on the H.A.M Radio Podcast. We hope you have enjoyed. If you had made it this deep, we'll use the hashtag. Hashtag 1 for 3. Yep. There. Wow.
Wow, that was weird.
Yeah, we've never had that. Wow. Okay. So hashtag 1 out of 3. Karak and I just entered some ethereal plane and managed to connect minds. So yeah, if you got this deep, let us know. Karak, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Thank you to the listeners for staying with us this far, and we will catch you guys next week with episode 174. Peace out. Wow, we said it again. There we go.